as the iconic hexagon of Goha rises. Some other heroes remain in jail, while others form new bonds, thus gaining a new, powerful ally. God, I've missed that voice. And the character of Nanahoshi Tenten was what made my day special. So, let's talk about it. Hello everyone and welcome to Dueling with Downton, and today we're talking all things episode 129 of the Yugioh Go Rush anime series. An episode revolving around Nanahoshi Tenten and the other insect ninjas. Plus a couple of Goha discussions mixed in as well. So I'm going to come right out and start with the character of Tenten. You know that I love the character of Nanaho from Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s. And with this character being her descendant, I had high hopes for this character that was somewhat met within episode 99 when we first got introduced to the insect ninjas. But that chaotic and mischievous nature was missing from episode 99. So it was really nice and refreshing to get that here. We got Tenten in all of her full chaos, full scheming mode, and I loved it. Ayaka Takamura absolutely nailed this episode with the voice acting, and the animation for Tenten's character was incredible. I lost track of how many times I screenshotted her expressions, seeing that sly smile when she was luring you into a trap. The way she smiled braggingly at Ranran when Ranran was listing off all of the reasons why you should not trust this branch family and how they are evil. That was amazing, as it showed off the playful chemistry between Tenten and Ranran. This was so much fun, and I want to see more of this chemistry of these characters interacting together within the future. And it's clear that Ranran still doesn't trust Tenten. I don't think anyone trusts the insect ninjas fully. Maybe except Yugioh, but Yugioh is the exception. However, Tenten knows this, distrust. And she's feeding off of that, using it to toy with a member of the branch family, and thus giving us such a great comedic duo. Now, I could go on for days listing off reasons as to why I love this character so much. But this is a Yu-Gi-Oh show, so let's talk about the duel and her playstyle reflecting that theme of betrayal by getting stronger through turning your opponent's monsters into insects, thus in some cases turning off your opponent's monster's effect, like seen with Tenten turning off Fellowship Braver's effect, thanks to there now being no Galaxy type monsters on the field, was really effective and unique for the character. Yet this playstyle also powered up her own ace monster in Evasive Chaos Ninsect Crimson Blade Nanahoshi. And what an awesome looking card this is. It's not quite on a Trance's level, but at the same time it's getting there. Yet before we got this type of playstyle from Tenten, she was using a style that helped her out defensively, showing off those ninjutsu defensive skills, as the 3 cards that she played worked in a combo to avoid your opponent targeting your weakest monster. And then monsters with 2000 or more attack could not destroy your other monsters, plus you take no battle damage, pretty much locking your opponent out of doing anything to your board, unless you use spell effects. So these are 2 really cool and unique good strategies, and honestly, when they eventually come out in the card game, I'm going to use them, especially if it comes out in Duel Links, which not really thinking it's going to, because we're a way off from that. Now then, let's talk about Yugioh, as we know he's a big bundle of joy and will be willing to trust anyone, even those who we know are massive liars and chaotic. So him wanting to ally with the branch Nanahoshi ninjas was on brand for his character, as well as Yugioh seeing the good in everybody. He just has that trait about him. Take Chupataro for example. He betrayed Yugioh and tried to kill him numerous times, and yet they are still long lifetime besties. Yugioh just is that differently built. Now we can see Yugioh as being a little naive and sometimes dumb, but he's actually relatively smart. I like how he knows that there is all the chance in the world that he'll get betrayed by these ninjas. But right here, right now, he needs all the help he can get to rescue his friends. And he'll use and do whatever that will take. Or he needs. But he won't do it with malice or evil intentions. Yet if someone does betray him, he'll use this betrayal to his advantage, like seen in this duel, where Tenten was using his now turned galaxy monsters into insects for her gain. Yugioh instead won the duel by using the same type of method. So in a way, Tenten's monsters ended up betraying her instead, thus giving Yugioh / Galactica Oblivion that boost in attack. Also, as a side note, seeing Oblivion with those insect antennas, that was rather cute. Moving on, I loved how we got more Tenzaki and Mutsuba moments, with them interacting, showing there's been some growth in respect since the two previously dueled. Also, Tenzaki has clearly spent way too much time with Yugioh, being that he's now acting as a translator for Yugioh's odd catchphrases. Which is a good thing, because we as the audience have no idea what he's on about sometimes. And it's even worse when the characters in the show have no idea. But with Yuki now gone, it's good that Tenzaki is kind of filling that role. Now then, moving on to Goha. This was cool seeing the hexagon rise. And we now transition to the Goha we know from Sevens. But there's still a bit of mystery surrounding the whole situation, especially with Goha Yuna. I still think a betrayal is coming from her character, as she's getting worried about Otis, calling him an enigma. Plus, this makes me think back to all of the moments where Yugioh returned to the future within Go Rush, and we saw a Goha ship within space. Now we know that in Sevens, Yugioh and the Luke man were in space kind of building something or working on something, so it could have been that we saw. But at the same time, it could also very well be a different future altogether that Yugioh actually returned to. So we might be seeing Yugioh again in the future. Now, this alternative timeline that could have been hinted at when Yugioh went back to the future, not sure if I'm allowed to say that phrase, but could have been one where a different future occurs, where Otis doesn't complete his plan and Yuna instead takes him out, making Goha the main power source. Now, Yumu asking Yugioh to be a bodyguard was rather telling, in the way that it shows that she doesn't have much will to fight or do anything anymore. Now, while that's highly understandable after everything that's happened in losing her brother, failing her mission, creating this evil persona that hasn't really paid off because Yuki took the spotlight, this could end up leading to something quite drastic and bad in the long term, as this could lead to a loss of trust and loyalty from the Darkmen. If their leader is now being portrayed as being weak and feeble, why should they follow her? We already saw as well that there was also a little bit of doubt in the trust and loyalty of the Darkmen when, we had Fumuraka versus Sayaba. So again, we could have a situation where Yumu loses the Dark Matter Empire. This could also help to lead to a reason as to why we do see Yugioh standing next to Yudis and Kawaii within the opening as well. Because if the Dark Meister is no more and is now weak and feeble and not doing anything, why would Yugioh stick around? Surely his ideals and his mission change to line up more with Yudis and Kawaii. Well, that's all just speculation. It's probably not the case. It's likely that Otis will get bored of Yugioh and not see him as important, and thus goodbye. While on the topic of Yugioh, it was odd seeing how his senses have dulled quite a bit, being that he was not able to notice Tenten's presence. Now this could be thanks to Tenten's amazing ninja skills, but Otis figured out that she was there. Yugioh used to be a general within the Bulgarian army, so he should have super keen senses and intuition. Yet, Otis had no problem locating Tenten, but Yugioh did. And he didn't even react fast enough when Otis swooped down and took his sword. So, Zuijo, you're slacking. Now returning to the Nanahoshis, I like learning more about the lore of this clan, but on that tale about a person that accepts both the main and the branch clan will be the one who leads them down a new road. This makes you think of one person. It makes you think of Yugioh, or Seven's version of Otis. Maybe one of those two people went back in the past even further, and they spoke to the original Nanahoshi. It's just that phrase, leading them down a new road. Again, it makes you think of only one or two people. Nevertheless though, I want to learn more about this clan. And hopefully we'll get that moving forward. Because when they showed you the branch and the main, there was still the central bit blacked out. Then again, now I'm thinking about it, that could have actually, the middle section could be the Gakuten family. It's eluding me the name now. But you know what I mean. Now, overall, this episode, I absolutely loved it. Mainly for 1010's character. And I hope we get to see a lot more of her moving forward. As we have a prison break themed mission on the horizon. And who better to help break people out of prison, sneak into a company than ninjas. Especially ones that we know have a success rate in avoiding the drones, as well as sneaking into Goha as seen in the beginning of this episode. But we seem to have Zion appearing in the next episode. I wonder what that's all about. Anyways, let me know your thoughts on this episode in the comments down below. I hope you've enjoyed. If you have, hit that like button, like, comment and subscribe for more things Yu-Gi-Oh! And Vanguard related. And have a great day. Alligator, Matane, goodbye.